In a rapidly expanding omniverse of sci-fi content, two Terrans try to make sense of it all. From the latest to the greatest to the most thought-provoking science fiction content on the screen, we bring you Crowded Space Podcast.
Here we go. We're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm your other host, Jarod.
This is episode 10 of Crowded Space Podcast of Incoming Transmission.
Incoming transmission.
Which is the sci-fi news.
Yeah, so this is our chance to, instead of, reviewing some content that's already out there, for us to maybe get some first reactions and talk about some of the projects that we're excited about that are coming up. So,
yeah, so I'm gonna talk about some Star Wars series that are coming on Disney Plus,
and I'm gonna be talking about a little bit of everything else,
just to keep it fresh.
Yeah, speaking of keeping it fresh, do you want to just run through the Star Wars stuff, or do you want to talk about one and then I'll talk about one of projects that I'm interested in?
Yeah, let's I'll start with mine. The first thing that's going on right now on Disney Plus is the Bad Batch season 2. It's have you watched the first one?
No, actually I haven't. I think I've just seen some clips here and there.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with the idea that out of some of the clones from the whole war, there were some that are the Bad Batch, have a screw loose or different for.
So they became like the elite. They became like the elite
so
clones.
I like that they have their own very distinct kind of personalities and looks.
Yeah.
In that, but that's about all I know about it.
Yeah, you'd have to watch like Clone Wars and then graduate to the Bad Batch.
No one has to watch Clone Wars. No one has to.
It's a cartoon, dude.
Oh, I thought you meant the movie.
No,
that.
We already know what happens.
To put it into
Clone Wars,
into perspective.
Jar Jar Binks turns everybody to the dark side, and he's the real
insert
dark side.
static noise.
He's the real Sith Lord, dude. Anyway, so it just started on season 2. Has just started on Disney Plus, and
have you seen season 1? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I watched season 1. Yeah,
all right. Well, what's notable about season 1? What stood out to you?
I think, like you said, like the different characters were pretty. I mean, it's been a while, so like a year, maybe a year and a half ago. That's like before Mando came out, like maybe during the first season of Mando. But anyway, it stems off the Clone Wars, which David Finelli wrote up, and with George Lucas as a mentor. Yeah, it was pretty good. And season 2, which I just watched I think half an hour of the first episode. It wasn't too bad. It kind of left off right off from the beginning. And the animation always gets better every time if you like that sort of animation. It's not like, Magna, but... Yeah,
the Star Wars animation's been hit and miss for me. Mm-hmm. But
remember when we went to see the first time Ahsoka came on screen? That was the Clone Wars, wasn't it? The cartoon?
Yeah,
at the
was
movies?
That the Guinea Tarkowski version that kind of looked like Samurai Jack, that style.
That's the one we went to the movies.
No, the 3D, that was early 3D
That was the first time. That was like Ahsoka Tano's first appearance, man. You didn't like it that much.
I don't know. So I hate to say it though. You haven't sold me on Bad Batch season 2. Is this you're like, hey, season 1, you should really go back and watch it, or is it hey, like if you've seen this stuff and you want more?
If you want to see where everything is kind of like stemming from, like the Mando universe, that's where you need to start. Honestly.
So
the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but say that I haven't seen that. But I really like Mando. Is watching Bad Batch gonna help me understand Mando more or anything? Oh, okay.
The only thing it'll do is kind of like expand that universe if you want to see other places and get to know like the background between. I think it was like maybe Rogue. Again, they never have like any sort of descriptor on the bottom where it says, "Oh, this happened between the years of."
Yeah,
it's always like, "Well, I think it's here, or maybe it's not here." I don't know where it is. I know it's in between after the Clone Wars, so I would imagine like after Order 66, right? So, but anyway, yeah, it's not gonna change your views.
Yeah, there's
of
probably
what
a
Star
reason
Wars
that
is
they
about.
don't do it. It's more trouble than it's worth. It's like if we leave this vague, then there's more room to cram in material.
stuff.
If we start
I
putting
think
dates
Mando
down,
was the
then,
only one that really set that pace where it's happened 5 years or whatever after Return of the Jedi, and that was it. And then of course you have the other ones that we don't talk about, but anyway, that's one of mine. So let's go.
Yeah,
Go
did you want me to go
Yeah,
for
go
the
for
next
it. Go for
story?
the next
or
one.
we're gonna,
Yeah, you
okay.
can. We'll go back and forth. Let's spitball it.
Sounds good. Yeah, so for those of you that are old enough to appreciate Max Headroom, it looks like
can't
they
believe you just
are
told me that. I
or
can't
rebooting that as I believe it's going to be a series. So
Really? Where's it gonna be on?
for AMC actually.
Really?
So,
AMC, huh?
right? Not one of my go-to
No,
channels.
that's like the
or-
Walking Dead stuff. That's like all the Walking Dead.
Right, yeah, when I stopped caring about Walking Dead, I guess that was it for me in
Well,
AMC.
like 12 seasons or something like that.
I will admit though, Max Headroom is reason enough for me to give it a shot again.
I barely remember
So it is
that
going to be
show.
a drama series.
Really?
And they are saying that it's going to be a reboot, not a continuation. So that's interesting. So some of the things I didn't tell you about this is that it is going to be produced by Elijah Wood of
What?
The Hobbit fame. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I guess he's about our age, so I can understand he might have a fond
I know.
spot,
I should have paused like when I
affection
told you.
for Max Headroom. So yeah, and then I guess the best news, all of this, why I'm actually excited about it, is that Matt Fuhrer will be back to reprise his role as
Really?
as Max Headroom. Now I'm not sure if
I
he's
don't
gonna
remember the movie, so I don't really remember it that
Oh,
much.
you don't?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, but like you probably at least remember his influence on pop culture and at least the Coke ads.
I know it was a big thing.
I drank a lot of fucking new Coke as a kid in hopes of getting a Max Syndrome T-shirt. So
Did you ever get one?
Yeah, we did.
You did?
But,
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah, so Max Headroom was essentially like an accidental AI
Yeah.
that lived in like the computer network of
No,
the
that would really
news
go well
station
this
that's
day and
set
age, so.
20 minutes in the future. So yeah, that's got a potential to be interesting. And I think with all of the attention on AI and
Yeah.
our thirst for rebooting stuff, that this could work again.
Don't forget your grandma, right?
Yeah, we'll reboot her at the same time. So I'm just saying, really hope they stick with blip farts. I think it's something. So in the original like movie that the series was then based off on, one of the channel, was it 23 or 22 or something, their whole thing is people were changing the channel during commercials, so they learned to put like 20 commercials in like just 2 seconds and just blast the people with the data. But it would like some people would catch on fire watching the blip verts, and so that was the whole big scandal that like the news reporter was uncovering.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
When they caused the accident that knocked him in the head.
That sounds like a good blast from the past, man. I've never seen. I don't remember it.
Yeah, maybe you didn't see it. So, but
Yeah, I don't
anyway, at
remember.
least you remember Max Headroom. And
I
it's
do
definitely
remember
a
Max Headroom.
icon of the 90s.
Where it was like this,
and-
like the weird, like glitchy thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was
so
a
it'll be
big
good.
thing. You were right. It was a big like, with the whole Coke and all that stuff. Yeah, that was a.
Back when back during the battle of the colas, it's still a thing now, but it's certainly in the 90s, Coke versus Pepsi, and
Yeah,
they were
it was-
they were
I don't
bringing
think
it
it's
all
as
to
big
stop.
now.
So yeah, because when Max Headroom was shilling Coke, that's when Michael J. Fox was pushing Pepsi. So essentially,
Right.
those were the stakes.
Yeah.
At any rate, yeah, back to you with some more Star Wars related news.
Yeah, I have the next thing on my little list here is the Mandalorian season 3.
Can't be excited enough.
Highly
about that.
anticipated.
You can say that
March
again.
1st, 2023.
Oh,
So,
wow.
dude,
Okay. I didn't know it was that
I
soon.
didn't even know it was that soon either. I was like, holy crap, it's that soon. I said the journey of the Mandalorian through the Star Wars galaxy continues. Once a lone bounty hunter been reunited with Grogu. This said, and then meanwhile the New Republic struggles and I think Mando is going to be the whole Mandalorian with Mandalore, and it's going to be a
Oh,
big,
he's going to be the new,
it's going to be a big
He's
thing,
gonna
and
be
I
the
have
new
a feeling
king.
that's going to be like it's going to be definitely like the major plot point for the series. The whole
I hope
man-
so. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, because you always just
I will admit
it was
with
always a background blip of the Mandalorians and Mandalore type of thing because of Boba Fett, but with Mando coming around and then his little with the all the other Mandalorians that are there, it just really sparked up, and it all started with Clone Wars again. That's how
right. Yeah,
Yep,
actually,
Clone
they
Wars.
set up the dark saber and they set up.
That's where
all the Mando
that's
stuff.
where all
Yeah.
these stories are coming from.
Yep.
So it's good stuff. I'm excited for that one.
Right.
We're back at you.
Well, I have to say on that before we
go
move
for it.
on,
Yeah.
I'm still lamenting the loss of the Razor Crest. Mild spoiler alert.
Oh
Just
my
because
God,
his
dude.
new ship is awesome, and I love how they took something from the prequels and made it cool again, and then like
I'm
punching
just
it.
shaking my head right now.
But yeah, he's shaking his head. Why? What?
I don't like the new ship, dude. I agree with you 100%. The Razor Crest, it gave it a place where
A home.
other people can hang out.
Yeah, they lost their home.
Dude, there's 2 seats and that's it.
Right. It's like we lost our home and now we have a RV. Right?
If
You know?
that. Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
It's
So
terrible.
we'll see. Maybe there's some new things in store and they're going to get their new home away from
Yeah,
home.
maybe
but
they'll get like a
that
bigger
ship's not
ship or
the
something.
same. Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I was disappointed because, like I said, it had that Boba Fett feel to the ship, like or the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has that every under like the underground people, the underworld have their own set of their home where they could trust to be safe, right?
Yeah.
So like Han Solo had his Millennium Falcon.
Well, you have the
Boba Fett.
carbonite slabs, right,
awesome.
in the Razor Crest.
Boba Fett has
so.
slave one.
I know. When they blew it up, I'm like, oh, they just want to sell a new ship now. But still, that's the only reason to blow up the Razor Crest. There's no good reason.
No.
But at any rate,
Anyway.
all right.
Your
So
turn.
back to me with another reboot, or this might be blasphemy for Alien.
I don't know.
I mean, between Alien and Aliens, those two are often considered, teaching moments in sci-fi cinema.
I even think they have with cinema when they have classes in college.
Now, again, I get the urge for the reboot. I think the franchise has gone astray.
Grandma's clutching her chest. She's got a bug
The franchise
coming out.
has gone astray. Right? I think with Prometheus, some people hated it, some people loved it. I didn't really appreciate
You didn't like
it.
Prometheus?
No, it
Did you
just
see
added a
the other one,
backstory.
Covenant?
Again, it just added a backstory that just didn't need to be there. I'm like,
Did you see Covenant?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Was it
think I've
good?
seen everything in the franchise except for the versus stuff, like the aliens
Yeah,
versus
I haven't
Predators
seen
I haven't
Covenant.
but
I didn't know if it was worth watching or not. I saw Prometheus. I
it's
didn't
pretty
think it was bad.
forgettable.
Is it?
honestly.
It's not worth it?
Because I can't see. I've got nothing to say about it whatsoever. Yeah.
Well, at least
other than
what
that,
I like
I've seen
is exploring lore. Like, yeah, sometimes some movies come out and they don't give that backstory. They give you that backstory. You're like, why do I need this? But sometimes I enjoy that where they add a touch of lore. So when you're watching their older stuff, you're like, oh yeah, this is kind of like touching that lore from Prometheus or wherever. But I didn't mind it at all. So what do you think about the reboot idea?
It feels unnecessary. We'll see how they do it. If they try to reboot it with the same characters, or they just try to give you a new experience of the xenomorphs with humans.
Yeah.
Right? And don't try to bring in Sigourney Weaver's character or any of that. I think if they just try to tell a new Alien story, they might have a chance.
I don't think. I'm hoping they don't reboot.
But if they try to redo that first movie, it's going to be a huge mistake.
The thing is, it's like there's so many other ideas. Why do you need to reboot? It's like, is that the cheap Hollywood version now of everything? Is reboot? We got to reboot it. Like, come up with your original ideas, you know?
Right. No, that's why I'm like, hey, let's say everything else, everything that's happened with Xenomorphs and Alien, and that whole franchise, that still all happened.
Yeah.
But just tell another story.
Yeah, I'd like to see like that corporation that
I think could work.
Yeah, that corporation that sent them out there. Maybe it's on Earth and they have like they found that pod and it escapes, and then it's in that building, a corporate building, and it's running around and shit, right? And one of the scientists has to kill it, kind of like in Alien. Instead of they go out in outer space and they find in the ship that they haven't heard from in a while, blah blah blah. Like, if you want to reboot it, you could do that, but like you said, go with something that's outside of what most of us are used to with Alien. Because I remember seeing that, and I'm not much of a horror, but I enjoy that particular sci-fi horror.
Yeah, I mean, apparently Prey, the newest addition to the Predator series on Hulu,
I heard it was pretty
well.
good.
I was like, I do want to watch that.
Me
Maybe even tonight, actually, when I get home. Because I've got a hankering for both good Alien and good Prey. So
yeah.
That's why I brought it up. I am hopeful, even though I'm really skeptical. Should be this is pretty much a done deal as much as anything is. Starts filming February 6th, I guess, in Budapest, Hungary.
Okay.
The working title for the film is Alien Romulus, whatever that means.
Romulus.
So gives me hope that it is just a kind of a whole new story all on its own.
Yeah, because we don't want Ripley.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Feda.
Yeah, Ridley Scott was. I do think he's still producing.
Oh,
this.
is he?
And yeah, so that's good news. You might know, was it Feda Alvarez from the 2013 redo of actually the Evil Dead. So we'll see. So at least he's got some experience.
Yeah, with horror style.
Well, yeah, with horror and with essentially reboots as well. So
it's funny. It's like I said, I'm not a horror guy, but I love that sci-fi horror stuff.
Yeah, I think we all have a soft spot in our hearts for Alien. So we'll see what happens. They already started casting, so
that's good. So
back to you, yeah.
So this one. I thought this one was interesting. Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures. Maybe a certain little one might be interested in this.
Yes, and since that you get him the Star Wars Golden Key book.
You guys been reading it
for Christmas? I fanned him out and had him pick which one to read.
Did you say you want this one? Right, the Jedi one. Yes.
Actually, I think he picked Pilot first.
Awesome. See, we're gonna get along just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, if it was Smuggler, then
it would have been 100%.
We were a third of the way through. I want the princess. I am a princess. He's like, Daddy, stop. He was like, he didn't think it was fun. But
you got to do the Sith one next.
Oh, we've been through them all at this point.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is set during their new. This is their new series that they put out of novels, the High Republic era. I guess this is like, I want to say 200 years before the whole Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. Follows younglings as they study the ways of the Force and learn valuable skills needed to become a Jedi. And that is like first full-length animated series created for preschoolers. So, and it doesn't have an official date yet, but 2023 I think is the date at some point.
For preschoolers, interesting. Yeah.
Oh man, you might want to pre-screen that before you let your little one watch it.
I mean, anything we watch, we're watching together, essentially. But that aside, well, so I'm torn, right? Animated Jedi Adventures.
Oh yeah, I see those
at
eyes light
first.
up over there.
Yeah, sounds really cool. You know, that's why I like Star Wars. Essentially, I
Yes.
love the idea of the Jedi. The idea of monks in space.
Yeah.
and that they've got this creed to follow to essentially bring justice and
Balance
harmony
to the Force.
to those around them. I'm just worried that the sort of messages that are important for preschoolers today aren't actually the things that a real Jedi would
Right.
follow.
Because this, well, you got to remember, this is 200 years or whatever before. I'm just throwing.
Right.
I'm just shooting from the hip from that.
This should be so the High Republic should be back when Jedi were real Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Where they weren't having
yeah.
emotional attachments and getting married, and they were starting their training at the age of whatever 5.
Yeah, they have their apprentice.
or whatnot.
They have the Jedi Master. But
Just should be
it says-
peak. There is no emotion. There is the Force. Following the Jedi code.
you're just a Jedi at heart, Jared. It's just a Jedi at heart. Well, it says
So
here.
we'll see. Yeah, I think as a parent, I'm like, yay! This is something that could actually be,
Right.
if really done well, could be some really cool teaching moments for the little one. And hey, I get to watch some Jedi in action at the same time.
Because
So
it says, like I said,
I'm
it says-
excited.
It says here, it says valuable skill needed to become a Jedi: compassion, self-discipline, teamwork, patience, and friendship. Uh-oh.
Yeah, friendship. That's attachment. I'm not
That's
sure
an
that's
attachment.
not a real
Oh,
Jedi.
Jared's shaking his head over there.
No,
not happy with
I'm
that.
hamming it up. It's still cool. And it's even Spock will admit that there's room for both emotion and logic.
Dude, we're at Star Wars, man. We're not in Star Trek. That's
I'm just
next
trying
time.
to give our listeners the bends from swapping from logic to the Force.
So, do you have another one?
Oh, for days, my friend.
All
Well,
right,
so
that's
this is
why
kind of a.
That's why I'm swanning it back.
This is a double. This is a twofer story essentially. So this has both to do with the latest Star Trek movie as well as the Fantastic Four. So the people in the know probably already know what I'm talking about. But so the latest Star Trek movie essentially had all the actors back signed up and on board, all the way from Chris Pine.
Oh, awesome. I'm a fan of it.
Zoe.
I know a lot of people
to-
aren't, but I'm a fan of it.
Oh yeah, they were. Okay, I don't think. Yeah, especially the first two. The Into
Yeah.
Darkness, I keep falling asleep for whatever reason.
Is that the one with Khan in it?
No, the
Dude, that
Con
one is
one's excellent.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
So much. It's
Other
so
than
awesome.
your blood fixes everything. I'm like, God, man, can we have a anyway?
When he kicks the crap out of all the Klingons by himself.
Yeah, it was a great
dude,
scene.
That's like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah.
dude, you are awesome.
Yeah.
I think we went to
so
see
they
that
had all the
together,
actors
didn't
on board, and then it was postponed, and then it was supposed to start production essentially
they've
back in
been.
December of 23.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, now it's officially just on hiatus. And they had Matt Shackman of WandaVision fame supposedly directing it, and he left.
Oh,
now
no.
this is still rumor level, but it's the rumblings are that he is now going to be doing Fantastic Four.
Okay.
And I get it. Actually makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't leave Star Trek unless
Something.
for sure, unless you
Yeah.
had something else, I know
you're
so someone
excited
who
for that
loves
one.
both Star Trek and Fantastic Four, this is kind of cool. That I'm surprised
You're like
that
popping
he,
in your chair over there.
yeah. I'm surprised that he left Star Trek. For Fantastic Four, I feel Star Trek's kind of got more traction and is a bigger thing than the Fantastic Four. But if done right, the Fantastic Four could be the next Avengers in terms of the MCU. And I do want to just bring up that, before the Avengers and Iron Man hit the movie scene, in the 90s, Fantastic Four were a way bigger deal than Iron Man and the Avengers. Now, I would say X-Men were
Number one. Yeah.
the number one. and maybe Fantastic Four there. Certainly Guardians of the Galaxy were number 50. Like they were after East Coast Avengers, West Coast Avengers,
I have
after
those- I have those comics.
after New Mutants, after like
Hey,
Sinister Six.
There's nothing wrong with New Mutants. Come on.
No, I'm just saying that Guardians of the Galaxy, in terms of in the '90s, cool superhero teams, they were low. They were low. And it did get me thinking about, now that we really don't have the Avengers. I mean, a lot of we lost Captain, we lost Iron Man.
They just gotta go elsewhere now.
Yeah, exactly. But I kind of feel that the Guardians of the Galaxy only work when you've got the straight act of the Avengers to juxtapose against.
Yeah.
So I am excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's it though.
But if they're going to be all jokey like the last Thor movie, I just don't think it's going to work. Jokey quirkiness works if you've got at least a couple of serious characters like the Hulk, like the Captain.
Because then you look like an idiot.
Yeah, then everything's
Thor.
just goofy.
Yeah, like Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, yeah, enough.
Too goofy for its own good.
It's just too goofy.
Yeah, so Fantastic Four movie is slated for, oh crap, was it 2025?
Yeah, it's a ways.
All
the good ones are ways away.
Because, well, no, I mean we've got Guardians of the Galaxy coming out soon.
Yeah,
we
but
got Ant-Man coming out soon this year.
To move into the new phase.
Yeah, so
The big
Fantastic
movies.
Four, hopefully, finally can kind of take over the mantle.
I didn't mind the other one.
As the first
They made two of
superhero
them.
team.
Yeah.
And kind of be Marvel's bread and butter, in the cinematic universe for a while. Or probably they're going to have a good movie just in time for everyone to be burnt out on superhero movies.
I think we're already there.
Yeah,
we're already there.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, but in terms of, now it's my turn to blink out on people's names. Krasinski.
Is he still playing it? Because I heard that he wasn't.
No, I don't.
That's
I don't
just
believe that he is.
That's just another dimensions.
Until
Fantastic Four.
yeah, but that's happened before with casting. I kind of don't get into. I don't like mentioning casting rumors until
There's
they're
no
on
sense to it.
set.
Yeah, there's no sense
Yeah,
to
because it changes.
Yeah.
And there's been too many times where someone's like, they haven't contacted me whatsoever. It's like, yeah, they have. And part of them contacting you is you saying that they haven't contacted you.
Just like Tom Cruise
when
is
you're
going to
asked,
be Tony Stark, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Please,
Of course.
give me a break.
Of course, Mr. Palmer.
Just like, did you hear Tom Cruise going to be the next James Bond? Come on. You did hear about that?
Sure. Why not? All right, what you got then? What was my twofer? So
That's your twofer?
Star Trek next.
Ahsoka, the series. This is a big one for me. This is a big one. It says 2023, but this says it just follows her from when she left Luke and Boba Fett. When they made it better. They brought Luke in. They brought Mando's. They brought all of Mando's third season into Boba Fett to kind of like, let's try to save it, give it rest. Let's resuscitate.
I recently rewatched Boba Fett, and by that I mean I rewatched the parts with Mando because they were awesome.
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, so they're gonna probably take off from where she leaves Luke and sets off on her own little project that she has going on, and it's just, I love the character. I always did in Clone Wars. She was always my favorite, and I think that it's gonna bring your Jedi back. I think it's gonna definitely bring your Jedi back.
Yeah, I'm excited about this as well. Her character in Mando has been a ton of fun.
So awesome.
I've watched enough the Clone Wars to know her character and her arcs, and again, totally approve of her leaving the Jedi Order because at that point, that's when people are straying from the path, and what it means to be a Jedi isn't what it was. And I totally get why she goes her way.
Yeah. It's such a it's like a character that you're like in the beginning, you're like, oh, seriously?
And if it
Anakin
means-
has a friggin' Padawan. Come on, this is
Yeah,
stupid.
that was really
This is
grown.
totally
That was so
stupid.
grown worthy. Yeah,
We were both
Yeah.
growing on it, and then I really got into the character, and it just blossomed into this amazing character that doesn't have to do anything with the whole Skywalker saga with Luke and Han and Leia and all the whole shebang. It's just she kind of went and formed her own path and had the connection. She still had the connection with Anakin and Obi-Wan, but it developed to an amazing character that really grew outside of not just being a Jedi and just grown worthy Padawan to Anakin, but as her own character too, where you get to see what happens when a Jedi just doesn't believe in the Order anymore because of what they've gone into. She kind of saw the corruption for what it was, because it was corrupted.
And then to be able to see what she's become in the shows, in the live action is really cool. And again, to complete what we're talking about last week, and if we get a chance to see Thrawn live action, now that is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Back to me.
Back to you, sir.
Yeah. So this is kind of a little bit hand wavy, but apparently recently Kevin Feige that's how you say his name, was asked about the X-Men being in the Marvel Universe. And
Here we
again,
go.
he essentially echoed the same answer as his robotic AI version did in
jeez.
Disney Plus's She-Hulk, the topic of our first podcast ever.
You brought it back again? I can't believe you just did that.
Was that
I want you to cut this
that
out.
essentially they've got nothing he's got nothing to say about it other than that Wolverine will be in the latest Deadpool movie.
Yeah. Hugh
though-
Jackman.
And it will be Hugh Jackman. Okay.
Will be.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 'cause they
I
had a
wasn't
video.
Sure about that. Oh, you did.
Ryan
see
Reynolds
that.
and Hugh
Okay.
Jackman, they were saying, they had him on a couch.
They say a lot of stuff, so
Yeah, but they was
yeah.
let's talk about the new movie where we started filming, and they go on and on and on, and you see him talking, and they kind of bleep it out, and they're all going all these things dramatic. You should look it up. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's hilarious. I think those two. I'm not a Deadpool fan, but I definitely will enjoy it when Hugh Jackman's Wolverine gets in there, because he is. I mean, other than being too tall, because Wolverine was a short dude.
Oh yeah, he was a tiny little guy,
But he played him amazingly well. But yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Is that there's no news on X-Men in the Marvel universe just
They're
yet.
really
but
keeping a tight lip.
Wolverine being
But we'll let you know once we hear about it.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Please listen.
with the next incoming transmission. But you've got some Star Wars news left still, right?
Yeah, I got a couple more things, and then we can wrap it up. I think, unless you got something else. So
I've got one more. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go next. Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, which you were really when you read it, it was pretty good. It's it's set in a New Republic era. It's about a group of lost kids in the Star Wars galaxy trying to find their way home.
And this is live action or
Yeah.
animated
Yeah.
or okay, yeah. I was kind of hoping it was live action. Just reading it gave me a flashback of some of the Battle for Endor. If you remember some of the early Kitty,
They had the
Ewok
Ewoks.
movies.
They had the TV show called the Ewoks.
Oh,
they had
there's
the
a-
movie. No, they
There's
had
a
the
Battle
series.
for Endor.
Yeah,
movie.
and then they had the cartoon.
There was a cartoon, yeah, the Ewok one, and then there was another movie, but I can't remember what it was called.
The other movie.
Yeah, there's two other made for TV style movies, live action with
Was it
Ewoks
like
in
Wicked or something like that? I don't remember.
But yeah, no. At any rate, and the idea of some kids trying to make it back home is pretty cool. Kind of like a Voyager, only.
Yeah, because also their the main actor for it is Jude Law. He's going to be playing the mentor of the kids. I don't know. I don't know what his
okay.
position is going to be, but
All right, yeah, all right. That's cool. I remember vaguely hearing something with Jude Law doing some Star
Yeah, it's
Wars
like-
thing or whatever.
yeah,
so
it's like I
this
guess
is
that's the big
project
thing now to
he's
get onto.
part of. Okay.
Yes, it's the big thing now is to get into like streaming series instead of movies. I guess I don't know. Maybe it pays better or something. Maybe they're just bored. They want to do something different.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
But hey, right back at you.
All right. Well, the last one for me, and this I added. Well, because I'm excited about it if they pull it off correctly, but also because it has to do with the peripheral, which we've talked about on this podcast in the past, and that is that Neuromancer is being turned into a series for Apple's
Yeah, you said that.
streaming service. But I'm not sure it made it into the pod. And so we got a
but
little
you
bit
told me
more.
that before we were talking about it off air.
Yeah, and so again, Neuromancer again is probably one of William Gibson's, who also wrote the Peripheral, one of his best known novels that really practically invented the cyberpunk genre. So again, it's going to be a hard, I think, genre to actively portray, but given what people can do with a big budget and with computer graphics these days, it might be finally the time to pull it off. I know you haven't listened to it yet. I know you said you might. So just to give you a little bit more insight into what the story is about. So it follows Henry Dorset case. So essentially he's down on his luck hacker who just barely escapes out of prison to kind of do his one last job or whatever, and that mission kind of brings him toe to toes with an AI that's kind of gonna change the shape of the whole internet landscape or whatever. So yeah, this has got tons of potential. Starring role is going to be played by Miles Teller, so you might remember him from Ready Player One.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. That's real cool.
yeah. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to that. So I'm seeing here on the sheet is also Star Wars Vision Volume 2. I don't know if you meant to skip over that because you're not interested, or
No, I mean if you want to bring it up, you can.
I will, just because I watched a couple of
you like the
episodes
Vision?
of what I saw of it. I did. It's just one of these
Yeah, 'cause
things
it's
I never came back to, and for
It's
no
different,
good
like
reason.
animators.
Well, so they tapped a lot of Japanese animation studios to do it. So, and usually I like their style of storytelling as someone who's watched and still watches a ton of anime.
So that's obviously the volume 2 of it that's coming out. I don't even know what date.
Did you watch any of it?
I watched some of it, but you know
little-
me, I'm not into that.
You don't like that style that
No,
much, so
no, I
it
don't
doesn't.
like it, no.
Okay, that's why I was like, oh, is he skipping it because he doesn't like the anime or what? Anyways,
No, I was gonna come back to it eventually. I had a few little things, but hey, I'm glad you brought it up. That's a good thing. That's why you have my notes too.
yeah,
So back at me then, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. So I got a couple more little things. I have the Andor season 2 is coming out 2024. Acolyte, which is apparently one of the things that is I guess it's kind of with the High Republic, but I haven't really been keeping track of it because it's just the information is not fully out there yet as a hard line. So I've been kind of leaving it bubble a little bit before I bring it up. Then you have the droid story, which is Anthony Daniels hinted that he was motion capture work for an early 2022. So they're working on this droid story, which obviously would be set with Anthony Daniels playing C-3PO.
And there was, I guess, the Droids animated series way back in the day. So I don't know if they're trying to
Maybe they're
bring
trying
that
to
up
revive that, yeah.
or what.
I think that would be
But,
awesome. A lot of people like
yeah,
that.
there's some really good storytelling to be done there. So
So I think that's pretty much it for me on the Star Wars front.
All right,
News-
yeah. So we got a
news
new
flash.
new season of Mando. We got Ahsoka looking forward to. Skeleton Crew sounds awesome.
Your visions.
We've got the Young Jedi Adventures or whatever
Yeah.
that maybe me and my kid can look forward to. We got a
Hey, I'll
Max
watch
Headroom reboot that's going to be starting. We got an Alien reboot that's in the works. Neuromancer it's on its way. Star Trek, the fourth of the Abrams Star Trek looks like it's on ice permanently, but the good news is it looks like Matt Checkman is now going to be directing Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
X-Men still have
bubbling.
no clear intro into the MCU other than Wolverine will be in the next Deadpool movie. And with that, just want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you like what
thank
you
you very
heard,
much.
hey, spread the word, tell a friend.
Yeah.
You've got
2 guys in a spare room, just making a podcast and having a good time. That's not a bad thing.
here. And so remember, everyone, it's not the destination,
It's the journey.
take care.
Later.